Okay, let's check our work. And to save some time on the video, I sped ahead and I already wrote down 1/2, 1/3, 1/3, and 1/5. And look at what I did. I hope you did this too, because it'll make your life easier. Do one vertically, one horizontally. One vertically, one horizontally. Because now, when I need to add them up, I have to make the same size pieces. Right now, they're not. So I did one vertical line here, so I need one vertical line there. I have two horizontal lines here, so I'm going to add two horizontal lines there. Now they're meant to be the same size. I have 6 pieces here and 6 pieces here. So what are my new fractions I'm working with? This isn't showing 1/2 anymore. What's the new fraction? 1, 2, 3 out of 4, 5, 6 total pieces. 3/6. Same as 1/2. And what about my second fraction? 1, 2 out of the 2, 4, 6 pieces. So if you need to, you could always draw a little arrow and another box where you're combining the amount. But I know from what we did earlier this week, 3/6 plus 2/6 is 5/6. 5/6. Let's see if we can simplify it. And pause the video now if you forgot to check. So pause if you need to. So I have 5 and I have 6. My factors of 5 are 1 times 5. My factors of 6 are 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. That's it. So the only number they have in common is the 1. And we showed this on the problem before. And actually, did you notice it was the same fraction? But if the only thing they have in common is 1, when we divide, it's going to be the same thing. And we saw that here. The 1 is what we're dividing by. Look at the other factor in the multiplication problem. 5/6. It's going to be the same. So I'm going to circle that so my answer stands out. 5/6 is my answer. Let's do the next problem. B, I already divided it, so I have 1/3 and 1/5. Make sure you really have 5 sections. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I drew 2 vertical lines on my third, so I'm going to draw 2 vertical lines over here. Now, on this one, I had 1, 2, 3, 4 horizontal lines. So I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4 horizontal lines on here. What are our new fractions that we're working with? 1/3 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 5, 10, 15 total pieces. And what about my 1/5? I have 1, 2, 3 out of the total of 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 pieces. Look, I can add them. 5/15 plus 3/15, 8/15. So before I circle it to say that's my final answer, let's check to see if we can simplify it. Again, pause if you haven't already. So I'm working with an 8 and a 15. What are my factors of 8? 1 times 8, 2 times 4, and that's it. What about 15? 1 times 15 and 3 times 5. What numbers do they have in common? Just the 1. So our greatest common factor is just 1. That means our fraction is not going to change. Okay, we're going to extend this a little bit because I don't know if you noticed, but every fraction we were adding here was a unit fraction. What if we're not working with a unit fraction? What if the top number isn't a 1? What if it was 2/3? So let's do that. I want you to write out our problem, 2/3 plus 1/4. and draw 2 squares. In one of the squares, I want you to draw 2/3 using, let's do vertical lines like this. Shade in 2/3. On the second one, I want you to draw 1/4 using horizontal lines. Pause the video now to get that done. Okay, check. I said use horizontal lines, so I'm going in the other direction. There we go. So in the first one, I want 2/3. So did you remember you needed to shade in 2 of the 3 sections? And then the 1/4, we're just doing the 1. All right, now I want you to pause again. Make it so that they look the same number of pieces, because right now they look a little bit more like the same size, but they're not. So we had 2 vertical lines. Draw 2 vertical lines. And we have 1, 2, 3 horizontal lines. Let's draw 3 horizontal lines. All right, pause the video. We now are working with 4, 8, 12. Both of them have 12 pieces. What are our new fractions? 2/3 is equal to how many 12ths? And 1/4 is equal to how many 12ths? Then I want you to add them. Okay, let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2/3 is 8/12. And 1/4 is 1, 2, 3. 3/12. How many 12ths do we have total? 8 plus 3 is 11. 11/12. Can we simplify that? So let's look for our greatest common factor. I have an 11 and I have a 12. Pause the video and write out your factors of 11 and 12. 11, all I have is 1 times 11. It's a prime number. But 12, I could do 1 times 12. Think of anything else? How about 2 times 6? Do you think of anything else? Did you remember 3 times 4? But none of this matters because their greatest common factor in this case is 1. So this fraction is not going to change. You cannot reduce it. All right, I want you to practice one that doesn't have a unit fraction. So back on our problem set, flip it over. I would like you to solve E. This is 1E, 3/4 plus 1/5. Draw out your 2 squares or rectangles. And on one of them, using vertical lines, make it 4th. Do horizontal lines on the other. Make sure you make it so they have the same number of pieces and then add. And just so we don't forget to simplify. Okay, when you're ready to check, go on to the last slide, and that's going to be it for today, besides the X certificate. All right, good job, everyone.